Okay, so Jennifer Aniston's one of the most successful actresses in the world, where she's worth over $300 million a day. But what a lot of people don't know is she's actually a Hollywood Nepo baby, where both of her parents were in the industry, had success, were actors, and did very well. But now she's actually brought out a big question on herself, and that's if her mom was evil. It was announced that Apple TV is making a drama series based on Jeanette McCurdy's book, I'm Glad My Mom Died, and they actually decided to cast Jennifer Aniston, who they've worked with before, to play Deborah McCurdy. Deborah McCurdy might go down as the worst mom ever, where she forced her daughter Jeanette to get into acting when she was just 4 years old, not sending her to school to try and pay her own bills, and then she forced her also to shower with her older brother when they were teenagers, and also at the same time, Deborah McCurdy pushed Jeanette so much into looking good that she developed very severe anorexia when she was 15. And of course, just to top it all off, Deborah actually stole all of Jeanette's money in the process, where there's supposed to be Coogan accounts so the kids have at least 15% of the money saved, but she never actually set up Jeanette, so when she was 18 years old, she thought she was going to have at least a few $100,000, and she had zero. What's interesting here is Jennifer Aniston said she wanted to play Deborah McCurdy after she read the book I'm Glad My Mom Died, saying she recognized herself a lot with Jeanette, and actually had this huge comparison saying that her mom was very similar to Deborah McCurdy, which, man, that's a big statement, because basically you're saying your mom is Satan. Explaining Jennifer Aniston's parents, she did have two parents who were actors, with the father being a lot more successful, John Aniston, who was known for doing a lot of movies and TV shows in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and he did have a lot of success landing shows like The West Wing and Gilmore Girls in the 2000s. But then the mom, Nancy Dow, she was known for being a model in the 1960s, and she did do some shows like Beverly Hillbillies, but she didn't quite have the same success her husband had. Jennifer Aniston's actually gotten into this a lot over the last 20 years, where she said the big issue she had with her mom is she was trying to push her to be a child model like she was, but the problem was when Jennifer Aniston was a kid, she was a little bit chubbier, had chubby cheeks, so she constantly got rejected, and she wasn't this attractive girl that her mom envisioned. Jennifer Aniston explained that her mom was so obsessed with her appearance that she was trying to convince her how to learn how to do full makeup when she was just 4 or 5 years old, and she also tried to put on a really strict diet when she was 7 and 8 years old, which did cause some issues later on. And then things got way worse in 1999 because Nancy Dow decided to publish a book called From Mother to Daughter, where she detailed her relationship with Jennifer Aniston, saying they didn't get along that much because they grew up in different ways. With Nancy Dow saying she grew up in poverty, she had to beg, she always had to work hard, but Jennifer Aniston grew up wealthy, so because of that she couldn't recognize with her daughter the same way. The entire reason Nancy Dow decided to do that book was because she wanted to do a cash grab off of Jennifer Aniston's fame from Friends. Because Nancy Dow was split up from John Aniston at that point, she wasn't really worth that much money, and she wasn't that close to Jennifer, so she couldn't just ask her for money. So instead, at the height of Jennifer's fame, she decides to publish a book basically calling her a spoiled little girl to try and make cash. The only reason that Jennifer Aniston and Nancy Dow ended up reconciling was because Jennifer Aniston got divorced from Brad Pitt, and part of the reason Jennifer wasn't super close to her mom was the divorce, but she began to feel more like her after the divorce with Brad Pitt. Yeah, I don't think Jennifer Aniston's mom was quite as bad as Deborah McCurdy, where I think that was a whole different level, but yeah, I do think the mom had a few screws loose, especially with that book. But with that, I'm Charles Sproul. Please subscribe to learn something.